The simulation is glitching. Your quantum window is opening. The Archons are scrambling. The Demiurge, or a god, or a Satan, the devil, is sweating. Materialist science is doubling down because it knows the truth is leaking. Yes. Do you think you can train your Sovereign Discernment Frequency, SDF, so you can detect the Demiurge's fingerprints in religion, in science, in culture, in relationships, and even in your own thoughts? The simulation is crumbling because when you think about it, you can feel it. The deja vu, that's too precise. The dreams that are heated and that heal your body. The thought that manifests in a few days, the synchronicity that can be detected and known and found not to be coincidental. That is your uncreated spark punching back and punching holes through Isfet's firewall. The book No More Masters is your quantum manual for full system override. Claim your copy today before the portal closes. For every reader that has purchased this book and own this book, they must realize that this is the apparatus book that can fully be utilized, and we want to support and share some 20 upgraded mind-shattering keywords. They are built to fully define quantum potential, Isfet and entropy warfare. These aren't words. They are reality codes. Speak them, repeat them many times, understand them, cram them if you can, put them in your consciousness. They embody the weapon for your soul. They are your liberation tool. This video can also be considered as the No More Masters Probity, because with these keywords we will answer a number of questions. But today we want to define the truth that we are living in a simulation. But what is that simulation? What can we define the simulation as? A simulation is a shadow that is cast by our own consciousness or towards our consciousness by an entity, and it appears to obey some logic. It might be projected from real reality, perhaps at certain times, but it resembles that at one or so occasions in our lifetimes, because we're given as many opportunities as possible to understand that we are living in a simulation. And then the unknowable cannot be contained within anything smaller than itself, and so every simulation is both a mirror and a veil, reflecting a truth while obscuring the source. So if reality is the unknowable, it is the uncreated. Therefore you cannot define it or understand it fully. You need a simulation to mimic it. No matter how vast or how detailed that simulation is, it will be less than the real reality. Not just in size, but in essence. So too our universe and our cosmos, or universes and cosmoses. Now, even if we live in a simulation, the fact that we cannot be able to understand it, therefore we question it and we doubt it, and we've got individuals that cannot understand it, and we feel that it is incomprehensible and incomplete, and that it is artificial, and that we can tweak even aspects of it. Its lack of true embodiment suggests that we are somehow connected to or echoing the unknowable. You are the universe. You project the universe externally from you. But in order for you not to be deceived, you need uncreated truth. In order for you to purify it, you need to understand the simulation. Are we living in a simulation? Yes. And we have defined the simulation as a shadow or as a mirror of real reality that reduces it and does not give you the fullness of it thereof. Here are the 20 upgraded mind-shattering keywords and terms and definitions. We want to start with number one, the Demiurge operating system. This is the false reality, which is operating a system which is running on Isfet software. When we understand that, we then go on to understand Isfet's engine, the one that he uses, or the one that is used. The problem with the Isfet engine is that it is a primordial God, or a principle that is primordial. And like entropy, its other name, it is the one that is driving nails to your soul so as to drain its quantum potential, or its waters of new potential, to using simulations of fallacious simulations. We go to the next one, which is quantum sovereignty, which is your native state, infinite, non-local, and bound by any laws. Therefore, any God who comes with the laws, anything that gives you laws and regulations, is pushing a simulation for you. Then we've got entropy hack, which is the rewriting the simulation's decay code with Ma'ati aligned intention. That's your power. That's what you must understand when you read the book No More Masters. Then we've got Lush energy. Lush energy is the wild and harvested power of your soul and your divine spark, which the damage fears the most. Therefore, he employs the flywheel reality, which is the illusion that keeps recycling your energy to power the God matrix and to power the demons, or to power the negative aesthetic forces. Then materialist gaslighting. This is science's campaign to convince you that your soul is a glitch, and it has deceived a lot of people through the doctrine of evolution. Where you want to understand it now, you must understand the probability prison, where your potential is locked by Isfet statistical certainty within that prison, which is a religion, which is believing in Jesus, which is believing in the Quran, which is believing in the Buddha, which is believing in Krishna, which is believing in the ancestors, which is believing in the gods, without your own input. So you must read this book clearly and thoroughly. Then you got the Ubuntu core, which is our melanin dominant interbeing, an operating system. It is entropy resistant and energy multiplying. Therefore, when you use the Ubuntu core system, operating system, you are actually invoking Mahati protocol, a cosmic justice system, which is an anti-Isfet firewall. It protects you and it will give you that guidance. Anything that you will then do libation, anything that is reverencing your ancestry, and talking to the gods and appealing to other forces of nature, you are well protected. Then we have got the soulware, which is the malware installed via a religion plus materialist science to stifle and to destroy your soul, or to steal your soul. It is the term that we normally use regularly. And then you have got the knowledge, which is the gnosis sage, the quantum voltage that shatters the hologram, because we are partly electrical. Therefore, we need foods like magnesium, potassium, sodium to empower this physical body, so that the electrical charge that we should have retain the natural electric force. Otherwise, you use Wi-Fi and all this blue wave and stuff like that, that is already created by the scientific world to capture and stifle your understanding. Like electricity itself, it's a very, 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 very bad energy. This electricity we use, the one that is actually powering this system or this computer, as well as this video. Then there is the Archon feed. They feast on your drained, entropic, hopeless energy, fear, sadness, sickness, ignorance, religions, and many others. These are the keywords that we need to put in our consciousness. Then there is this uncreated operating system. Very powerful. This will reboot into your native state beyond gods, beyond physics, and beyond decay. So you need this uncreated operating system. That's why we are saying this book that we are giving out today, these days, is one that taking over all this and explaining this in details and in practical ways. And last but not least here is the chaos override, using Isfet's momentum to catapult you into higher order. When I used to teach, I used to call it the Bushido style. In other words, you use the enemy's force to catapult you into another area or into a higher dimension. Our king, Ramesses II, used it to defeat the Hyksos and to defeat the Katis when he realized that they are using better equipment. So it's like nuclear power, nuclear energy. You can say, okay, we want to invent a better system, a much, much better system to outflank all the other powers like Russia, America, France, and many others with nuclear power. This is the chaos override that we need as melanin-dominant human beings today, tomorrow, and forever. Then we have got the divine reclamation. In other words, it's retaking back every spark that tried to nail you to the wheel of reincarnation or wheel of failure or wheel of disaster. And the hologram exit is the moment you stop believing the simulation's rules. This is when you say, oh, okay, and you realize, okay, this is a simulation. I'm no longer a servant to it. Then you've got the quantum miracle mode, where impossible is your default setting. And then when that default setting is reached, it will catapult you into entropy reversal. In other words, not fighting decay, but transcending its jurisdiction. These are the 20 normal masters probity keywords. You have to understand them. You have to go through them. You have to repeat this video. You can write the definitions. Once you understand these 20 normal masters probity keywords, then you have the final command. In other words, you will be able to crash the system, because then it means the simulation has been opened to your eyes and you are coded now, or you are coding to collapse it. In order for you to do that, and in order for you to be able to use the normal masters probity keywords, you need the book Normal Masters. You need to read it and you need to think about it. Get a notebook, write notes, and then go back and then look at how you can master the normal masters probity keywords, because you need to crash the system. You can never live a happy life or understand some of the things that are happening in the world, in your life, in our lives as melanin dominant beings, the questions that we have, if we do not fight to crash the system. I think you understand what I'm saying here. So this year, 6262, we are saying you have been called by the ancestors and crowned by them gods. Because when you understand the systems that we are talking about here, then it means you have transcended and you are moving forward. Well, I can say many things today, but enough said is the best. Inherent Afro-salvation, mystic power, can be derived also by studying with us at Bantu Melanin University. The email to contact us is given here, and the website is also shown here. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for listening. Thank you for liking this video. Share this video to as many people as possible. Your manager to Priest Rabbi LM to Mjaganja of Marfado Family Network says, yes, you can crush the simulation and perforate it and emerge understanding the unknowable. And that is a great gift that you can ever have. Our next video, we are going to look at miracles that those that have used this system have been able to perform and have been able to witness synchronicities in their lives. We are on the right track, and it's nice to meet each other. May the gods protect, imbue, enrich, and guide each and every melanin dominant human being today and forevermore. Amen.